Welcome to another edition of Wine and Design. We are in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. My name is Charles Malek. We are just ahead of our upcoming cabin credit with some local designers and architects. And we have a very special guest today, Erik Kuehne from Cellar Innovations. Welcome.
Thank you.
I've got a little wine that I picked from the Wine in the Glass menu. It is a Napa Valley Sauvignon Blanc, Flint and Steel.
Nice.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Cellar Innovations, or WCI, is one of the leading wine rack builders in the U.S. They build wine cellars all over the country and have been one of VintageView's leading dealers since we've been in business, and you've been in business since
1984.
So you guys are deans of the industry. There's very little you haven't seen. What has changed the most since you've been in the industry?
Let's see. I started in 2003, and I would say back then most of the wine rooms we were doing were down in the basement. Traditional style racking systems. Now what we're seeing, and it's steadily climbed into this realm since I began, is more modern. The wine rooms are coming out of the basement. They're in dining rooms, kitchens. We've done them in living spaces, in foyers, coat closets. So it's become a sort of a transitional product, and it's moved out of the basement. That's
right.
The biggest change.
Okay, so those are some big changes. What has remained consistent that you've seen?
I would say the wine buying has stayed mostly the same. The size of the rooms aren't changing much. We're still doing the 1,000 to 1,500 bottle wine rooms and anywhere in the house. So that's really stayed constant.
Okay. So we're metal people, you are wood folks. How do you see the two elements blending well?
Actually, they work very well together. I would say when I meet clients, they're generally going to be either on the modern side, where it's sleek and modern and metal, or they're going to be might be on the transitional side, which I think most of them are. So they want to have sort of a wood element and a metal element. So you have this transitional between old school wine racks plus the modern element. So it works very well for us. Plus, with the modern racking, there's not a lot of options for case storage yet. So we do a lot of the wood racks to handle the cases, maybe on the lower half of the racking system, and then go from a tabletop up to the ceiling with the VintageView type systems, which are fantastic and versatile.
Great. When somebody initially calls you, do they have an idea of the design they're looking for?
Some do, some don't. It really helps when I show up with a tablet and show them all the jobs that we've done, not one of which is the same. They're all different. So it gives people the opportunity to really dial in a unique, one-of-a-kind wine room for their own house. So it's really all over the board.
Okay. Erik, what's the most insane VintageView cellar you've ever worked on?
That would have to be one that we just completed a couple of months ago. I think it was 30 feet long. It was a wine wall, 15 feet high, right about 3,000 bottles, I believe. And the most unique and crazy thing about this wine room was that instead of having a ladder to reach the high bottles, the entire floor was a lift. So you lift up to get the higher bottles. It was really a fantastic idea.
That's excellent.
Yeah, hope to repeat that sometime.
Next question. So you and your wife have a big celebration coming up. What are you going to open?
If we're celebrating, it's going to be champagne. So it's going to be Dom or Krug or something similar.
Okay, very good. Well, I want to thank you for being with us today. We appreciate you coming to 101 Steak And I want to thank everybody for joining us for another edition of Wine and Design. We will see you soon. Cheers.